Now this is for our rugby clubs. The rugby ball is exactly the same stitching as the football. But what you have to bear in mind is, and I've probably pointed it out on a few videos, when we put the bladder in, there's the bladder, when we put that bladder in, it doesn't go in that way, it's got to go lengthways. So when you stick it into the bladder, into the ball, that is the way it's got to go in. Just bear that in mind. So when you glue it in, make sure that those edges are pointed to at the end of the football, or at the end of the rugby ball. That's imperative. So as you probably know, not that way, but that way. Now once we put the bladder in, and we come to stitch it up, as I say, it's exactly the same stitch as the football, but it's easier. So always try, once you stitch the first half, always try to get the first half tied off round about at the top. That way, once your needles come in from the other end, they don't actually catch the bladder inside. Whereas if you did it down here, and at that end or that end, there's every possibility you could catch the bladder. So as high as possible with the first lot of stitches. So it's just manoeuvrability. Just press it in. You'll soon get the hang of this. Just press it in. As you can see, that's where we start to stitch there. So we always go back to the tightest stitch, which is that one, which leaves 2 or 3 loose ones there. So we start off, put the needle through where you've made the hole larger with the brad awl, pull the needle through. So you pull the needle through, and then once you've got to the centre of the lace, just tie one loop, that's all you need, just one loop, tighten it, and then take out the loose stitches. Exactly the same as a football. Just prise them out from both sides. Now once you've got rid of them, got them prized out, there's no need to cut off, because those 2 ends that you're prizing out, they're part of the original ball, or the original stitching. So as I said, you don't have to prize it out or cut it off. Once you've got it out, got the holes cleared, just pull them back, because as I said, they're part of the original stitching and they won't go anywhere. Then we start to stitch exactly the same as the football. Left, right, all the time. Now I won't go all the way to the top, I'll just do one more, because I can finish off there, even though it's at the end, there's no problem. So once you've got halfway up the ball, just a double knot, tie it tight and cut it off. Right, so once you've done that, you've tied it off, we then start from the other end. So just manoeuvre the ball. Obviously a rugby ball is slightly more difficult to manoeuvre than a football. But once you've got that first half done, just press it in there. Excuse me. So just press, squeeze it down. So you've got access to the inside of that football, and you start again exactly the same as before. You go back to the tightest stitch, needle through, tie one loop, prise out the loose ones, and then you start to stitch. And as I say, you can go as far as you want manoeuvring the ball, and then you can do the loop system. So as I say, From there on, it's exactly the same as repairing a football and stitching a football. But obviously it's a lot easier because it's a straight panel. So it's just manoeuvrability all the time. Just pull it out slightly from the sides and press down on both sides. As you can see, you've got access to the ball. And you keep doing that all the way until as far as you can go, then do the loops. So, as I say, for the rugby clubs, once you've done one, you'll have no problem at all. It's just a case of manoeuvrability, holding the ball between your knees and making sure that those stitch holes are facing you when you stitch. So good luck, and if you have any problems, you've got my telephone number, my email address. Give me a call or a ring and we'll resolve any problems you have. Okay, thank you very much.